Oh my goodness. Hello everybody. You know who this person is. My name is Dr. Princess Fumi Hancock. I'm a life strategist. And of course, you guys call me your purpose pusher. Thank you so much for being here. I am so super duper. Do you get that? Super duper excited because I'm telling you, this masterclass is going to be awesome because I'm going to be interviewing shortly. Yes, I call him my legend, my life legend. Yes, I've done it. I've said it again and I say it one more time. He's my life legend, no other than Dr. Stephen Mansfield. See you shortly. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Let me make sure I'm seeing everybody here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. If you are there, please put a comment in the chat box.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Hey, Ineka, how are you, my dear? Tessa, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. Thank you also for joining. Please, can you invite people, as many as you can? He's coming in shortly. Hey, Ineka, how are you? Let me put this here so I can see your pretty face. So I'm just waiting for him now to come in. Let's see. Let me make sure it's there. Hello, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. The day that we have been waiting for is finally here. Yay! So now I'm waiting for our distinguished guest to arrive. I'm waiting for him to, just give me a second. Let me make sure that he's okay. That, let me make sure that he's okay. Let me make sure that he's okay. Let me make sure. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you so much for joining. Please, let's take this time to share it. Let's take this time to share it with each other. Share it on your Facebook. Share it all over the place. Wherever you think that you can share this, please let's share it. I hope you're all doing well. Oh my, password. He is having some problems here, so you all just pray us through this. Oh, wow. Just bear with us for a second, please. Bear with us. We are going to get it right shortly. Let me see if I can help out here. Let me just make sure he's okay here. Thank you all. Just be patient with us as we figure this out. As we figure this out. Just bear with us for a second. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's having a problem logging in, so please just bear with us. Bear with us. I'm not sure why he's having this problem. I am not sure why he's having this problem. That is so strange. I'm not sure why it's not letting him in, so just bear with us. It's not letting him in. So y'all keep us in prayers because it's not letting him in. So keep us in prayers. All right, let's see now. Maybe this will work. Thank you for holding on with us. Thank you for holding on there. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure what's going on. What in the mighty? It keeps telling him that he's in the wrong thing. Oh my goodness. This is what I have. 611. Oh, let's see. 611 952 696. Oh my heavens, everybody. It is well, it is well, it is well. I hope you all are doing well. I can't see nobody right now because I'm trying to troubleshoot. So just bear with us for a second. It's going to be worth your while. It's going to be worth your while. So it's going to be worth your while. Uh. 611-952-696. I think that's it. Can we just pray Dr. Stephen Mansfield in? Can we pray him in? If you're watching me right now, I can't see anybody. Can we pray him in, people? Can we just pray him in? Yeah, I'm trying to do that, Ramona. That's what I'm trying to do. Oh my God, I don't think he's getting in. Oh, he says he's on, but I do not see him yet. So give me a second. Yeah, I'm trying to see him. Oh, wait a minute. I see you. I see him. Yes. Holy Ghost. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Oh my heavens. You're muted. You got to unmute yourself. All right, let me unmute you. Okay.
Hello?
Say something. Oh my God.
We had the wrong code, huh?
Oh my God, yes, I'm so sorry. Oh
That's
my
okay.
God. Wow. My goodness. Well, thank you, God.
Yes. Hi.
That's all, because this has been anticipated. And I'm like, no, you're not going to do that, devil. No.
No.
There is no room for that. So everybody's here. Everybody's saying good morning, Dr. Mansfield.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Please do share. He's the man of the hour is here now. Christine, yeah, hallelujah indeed. They're all saying hallelujah because after a while I said, can you all stop praying? Because I don't know what to say at this point. That everybody start praying. So thank you all so much for joining us. We only got 1 hour with the man, so we are going to go right ahead and do this thing. Debbie, thank you for joining. Tiffany, thank you. Christine, thank you. Everybody, please do me a favor. Tessa, can you take this link and throw it inside of all of our groups so that everybody, thank you, people are coming in. I want to give them maybe like 5 minutes to,
sure.
Because I think that first minute got everybody. It got us all over the place. So okay, Debbie, welcome. Andrea, welcome. Sharon, welcome. Sharon says, well, good morning, Dr. Mansfield.
Good morning.
Debbie, good morning, Dr. Mansfield. Neka, Tiffany. Ineka is Nigeria. She's tuning in from Abuja, Nigeria.
Wonderful.
Yes. This is what's cool about this platform. It allows people, even my folks in Dubai, people all over Europe, Abby in London, it allows them to be able to come in and really enjoy this instead of like waiting on a network and they can't find it.
Sure.
So this is cool. Medina, welcome. Thank you so much. Please do share, invite your followers on your own social media. I'm not going to turn on the Periscope today because I have a reason for that. I have a reason for not turning on. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay. So I have a reason for not turning on Periscope today because of what we want to share. We're going to do a soft release of Dr. Mansfield's masterclass. And I'm telling you, I don't think he's seen this part that I want to show today. He's not seen it.
Uh-oh.
But I want him to look at himself and smile and say, yes, I did a good thing. And today we just want to, number one, commend him for what he's trying to do. Thank him a lot for even taking his time. Oh, you can't wait. Slow your roll. What you mean you can't wait? What you mean you can't wait? Come on, people. I'm building. Can't you tell I'm building something here? You all have been with me for too long to know that, you know when I'm building up to something. So don't tell me you can't wait. You're going to have to wait. And so, I want to thank you. Here are the things that I want us to do. Here are the things I want us to do. While we are on here, please continue to share, continue to share. I want you to continue to do a few things for me. All of my think tank, thank you so much. You guys that came up with the questions for Dr. Mansfield, you came up with basically the framework of what you want to see in his masterclass. So I thank you, Sister Tribe, for doing all that. Please continue to share one link, which is storytellerbistro.com, storytellerbistro.com. If you find yourself frozen, go right out, come back in, and you'll be okay. All right? Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So my name is Dr. Princess Fumi Hancock. Many of you know me as your life strategist. Others call me your purpose pusher. And of course, yes, I just got one mega, introduction few days ago. Number one, global, right? Vision midwife. Because I really do help you to deliver your vision, whatever your vision or dreams are. This is what I really believe that God has put me on the face of this earth to do, to help you to birth your legacies. Because how many of you know that it's about legacy, right? Hey, Florida, welcome. Edith, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. So we want to first thank Dr. Mansfield for taking his time to really come. He's been here twice now, and I'm telling you, oh, Lord God Almighty. He's been here twice now, and we want to thank him for doing that. Abby from London says, hello, welcome, Abby. So let me do this. All of you, can you put in the chat box what part of the country or what part of the zip code or what part of the country code are you guys tuning in from? Please put that in the chat box. Wherever you're tuning in from, your location. I'm just curious about this. Throw your location out there and let me see what your location is. I know some of you by heart right now, but I'm seeing a few people that I'm not aware of. So Debbie from New Jersey, welcome. Northern Kentucky, welcome. Abby from UK, welcome. New York in the house. I used to live in New York, so I know. Colorado in the house, welcome. That's right. So who else do we got? Come on, keep it coming. So, look at that, Ramona Phillips. Now you want to differentiate Jersey. Just say Jersey. Now you say South Jersey. The Southern, come on. Jersey, well, I guess North Jersey is different from South Jersey, isn't it? Because I used to live there before. So thank you so much for, just keep throwing it as we begin this process. Orange Park, Florida, thank you. Atlanta, Georgia, thank you. Oh, Tiffany, by the way, thank you for subscribing yesterday. I appreciate that. Did I just say Jersey? Martina, now you're saying Northern Jersey. You guys, you are funny. It's like, okay, I'm from the Southern Jersey and you're Northern Jersey. Is there something different that you guys want me to know? So thank you for throwing it out there. Well, he is no other
than Dr. Stephen Mansfield. The last time he was here, St. Louis in the house, welcome. He almost broke my, let me put it this way, he indeed broke, broke my Facebook online, because by the time we were done and I looked at the numbers, it was over 15,000 of you guys, and you kept sharing and kept sharing. Well, Tessa, I know that North and South are different. Okay, la-di-da-da-da. Come on, give me a break here. Las Vegas in the house, welcome. Welcome, Las Vegas. And so when he was here, we know a few things about him, right? You guys know that I love to have people to their own horn here. This is a free zone where people can tell us who they are, what they've done, without me necessarily trying to figure it out myself. And of course, we know that he's a popular speaker. And what really is amazing for me is the way that he has the pastor hat, and then the New York Times bestselling. Now that statesman got me, right? That statesman, you should have seen me when we were taping. I was gunning for that statesman, because it was like, okay, New York bestselling, okay, I got that. Oh, pastor, I got that. But that statesman, I need to understand that, because that's one area that I have to build. So I want to understand that. This is what you're getting today. If you are not here, you are missing. I'm going to say right now, because this particular one, I will pull it. This particular broadcast, I'm going to pull it at some point. If you're not here, if you have a sister, a brother, a father, a mother, whoever you have right now that needs to be a part of this, you want to bring them in right now, because we're not going to go into details about what he did. We just want to share our experiences about coming together, brainstorming and coming together to create a masterclass. And when I was with my team in Europe, we kept saying, everybody talks about masterclass. We wanted something different. And Dr. Mansfield inspired us. All right. We were watching everything that he was saying, and we were so inspired that we came up with our own little, but we're not going to say it right now, because we're going to release it. When we release, then you're going to see what we termed him. And we said, all right, he's quite an inspiration, so we might as well roll with that inspiration and come up with a few words of ourselves. So thank you so much. Dr. Stephen Mansfield, can you just say hello to those who are watching you right now? And please remind some of them, because there are lots of them now that they were not here the first time, who you are, what you do, and why we're here.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be with you again. I love being on this program and with this amazing lady who is your host. It's so wonderful to be here. And I'm known as two or three things. First of all, I'm a New York Times bestselling author. I've had 4 or 5 New York Times bestselling books, and that then puts me on Fox and CNN networks, and I comment on faith and culture. And then I also am that magical word, a statesman. For example, this next week, I will fly to Iraqi Kurdistan and help them with their constitution and religious liberty issues on their constitution. So those are the kinds of things that I do. I also run a consulting firm in Washington, D.C., where I work with a lot of congressmen, senators, generals, et cetera, on their media and their communications. So it's a good life, but it's so good to be here. Welcome to everybody.
Thank you so much for saying that. Now, you said something that kind of piqued my interest now, that you're going to be flying to do something about Constitution. Tell us a little bit about that, if you can.
Well, I lived in Nashville, Tennessee for many years. And when Saddam Hussein was just horribly traumatizing the Kurds, many of them left Iraq and came to Nashville, Tennessee. And Nashville still has the largest number of Kurds of any city in the United States. So I got to know the Kurds. Eventually, I began to go back to Iraqi Kurdistan and help the people. And we took relief supplies and we lobbied the U.S. government for them and so on. And in time, I began to work with their leaders. Well, now, as many people know, they are having a referendum for independence in September. They are very likely to be the world's next new nation.
Wow.
And so I am helping with that, and they are fashioning a constitution. And one of my academic specialties is constitutional law in America and religious liberty issues in particular. So they're asking me to advise them on the development of the Constitution. So I feel like I'm working with a young Thomas Jefferson, or a young person who is writing the Constitution. and it's a great privilege for me. I am very moved to be able to do that. So pray for me.
How did you, it still blows my mind. I'm telling you, every time that I read about you or see you somewhere, because I do get your newsletter every day. And you know what's funny about it? My husband started getting it first, and he came to me and said, Daddy, you didn't get what I did get. And I said, what are you talking about that you didn't get what I didn't get? He said, well, he said, I get his. I said, what are you talking about? I said, well, you should have seen me. So I go, here I go, into my email. I said, I said, looking, ransacking everything, and lo and behold, it was sitting in the spam folder. So I pulled everything in the spam folder. I said, yeah, see, I got it too. So you're not that
I don't want to cause any marital problems in your home.
Oh, well, you did already, but we getting over it.
Okay, good.
So tell us, how did you get? I'm still blown, but I'm blown away. And the reason why, for me, I feel like I need to know that, because I know where God is taking me in Africa.
Good.
And I see the signs already for myself, and I do believe in preparation. And so how did you flip to that side where people are actually now looking at you and say, come and help us with the Constitution? I mean, that is huge. Come and help us build a nation. That's what it literally means.
Yeah, it does.
Help us build a nation.
You know, what you have to do is prepare for your dream before the dream actually comes. So I think I told everyone last time that I was a pastor in Nashville, and I was very happy. It was a large church. Many people know it. But I knew I was also going to be doing other things one day. So I would read, I would study, I would attend seminars, I would watch TV shows that were on these subjects, you know, the boring ones on PBS and public channels. I would read all of that. I would, if anybody was speaking in Nashville who worked internationally in legal affairs and helped nations, you know, with the UN and so on, I would go listen to them speak. So people, my friends, sort of laughed at me a little bit because, you know, here I was a pastor and the church was doing very well. But I was preparing as though I was, you know, going a completely different way. And I knew one day it would happen. Only God can make these things happen. But what you can control is your preparation.
Oh my God. Now, this is one thing that we've been talking about with the warrior sisters, and even in my group, I keep telling them about how they need to master their brilliance. Yes. And that if you're not mastering your brilliance, you're not moving anywhere. And for you to go to where you want to go to, you have to be able to learn. And that's exactly what you're saying, mastering your brilliance. And that's what's going to open the door for you.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, and when your moment, some people call it the moment of destiny. When that moment comes when they call you, when that moment comes when you can step up on a broader stage, the question at that moment will be, have you prepared yourself? I spent years reading, studying, working on my speaking ability, learning a little bit about negotiation. You know, I understand all of that. I studied, there are many, many things that I had to learn that I had never been taught in school. For example, I learned everything about Islam that I needed to know to work in that part of the world, not in school, but from books and from talking to Muslim friends in Nashville and things of that nature. So, you know, you have to know much more than any one program can teach you, but you just study and invest yourself. You have to prepare for the dream before the dream comes, because once the dream comes, frankly, it's too late. If I hadn't prepared myself and they put me in Iraqi Kurdistan, I wouldn't have known anything. So years of preparation.
Here is the thing that I see often on social media, particularly on my platform, Periscope, is that people are not practicing. They're not preparing. And so when they do turn on that Periscope, you have people that are half-baked.
Yes.
And they're out there saying they're teachers, they're these, and they're derailing a host of other people and keeping them away from people like you who have really paid the time, done the deals, and really do it. What would you say to people who go on Periscope or even the social platform and they are like half-baked? What would you say to them?
Well, that kind of person makes me nervous because eventually they're going to be embarrassed. You can only sort of fake it, half fake it so long. You know, what I do is I picture very major television interviewers asking me questions.
Say that again. Can you hold it? Can you hold it?
Sure.
The reason why I want you to say it is because in my class, last night, my prayer class, we did the prayer of Jabez. Oh, that you will bless me indeed. And I was teaching them how you have to envision it. Indeed,
Yes.
says confirmed.
Yes.
Say that again, please. Say it again.
The way I prepare is I envision major interviewers from Oprah to, whoever, Dan Rather, all the big ones, asking me questions. And when I picture the questions, then I ask myself, am I ready? Am I ready to answer that? So and I'll tell you, in my life, I've actually been sitting in a studio on international television and had one of those major people ask me exactly the question that I had envisioned. So you have to prepare. You have to prepare, and you have to prepare very specifically. But the moment will come. We could use so many Bible examples. David was already skilled with his slingshot before he went and had to confront Goliath. But if he had not spent years doing what he did in the wilderness, killing the animals, trying to take his sheep, he never would be ready for Goliath. And that's how we have to think.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Be prepared. Wow.
Yes.
All right. So let's segue into what we did. Let's segue into what we did a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, you were here, and because of popular demand, we decided to go into the studio to kind of like create, what do you call it, a masterclass for the people. Tell me, how was your experience with that?
Oh, I really enjoyed doing that. Your crew was wonderful. And you really drew me out. Your questions were so insightful. And I love it. When a person does what I do, we just sort of do it naturally and don't think about it a lot. Yes. And it takes someone like you to draw out, well, now, why did that happen? And what was that connection? And how did you make that transition? And so it was sort of almost educational for me, and that I was thinking about my life and work differently. So you did a great job, and I thoroughly
thank you so much. Well, I have to tell you, though, there were come to like moments for me there, even for essay, because at some point I was telling the people in my class yesterday that at some point my camera person actually forgot that he was taping, and he was like, okay, you say that again. I'm like, wait a minute. Come on now. Get back to the camera. Get back. He was like, oh, I forgot. I just want to answer to that. That's what he just said. I'm telling you, there was so many crack the code that you did. I mean, you were just, every part of it, you were just cracking the code like this. Now, there was one that instantly delivered me. I'm telling you right now, you don't know that one, but it was an instant deliverance. You hear me? And it had to do with, I think it was under marketing, where you were talking about what you do for branding and what you do for sales. That delivered me.
Good.
Because I used to mix, I'm not going to tell them go deep into it right now because we want them to get the class. But I used to, you see all those things that you said you did for branding and the things that you did for sales, everything was one.
I see.
Everything was one. So I was over-labored. I was all over the chart. I was just tired. I didn't know what. So when you said that, I came home and I took my little board and I put, okay, this is for branding. So that way, if no sales come from it, it's okay because it's done what it's supposed to do. But the mindset that I had before was sales have to come from them. And if I'm doing it and no sales came, I was frustrated.
Sure you were.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I understand. Well, it's a big difference. And some of the biggest people, frankly, built their brand without having many sales. The sales came later. So I'm really glad that helped. I'm very glad that helped.
Can you say that again? Talk to us about what you just said now, that a lot of people build their name on brand first before sales came. People need to know that. Please say that.
A lot of the major people that we have in our world, people who are, big names now, they spent a lot of years building a brand, but they didn't have big sales and big income. The brand came first. The brand was them being positioned in the world so that people would see them as valuable. Then once people saw them as valuable, that's where the brand came. That's where the sales came. That's where the book deal came, or the new position, or people willing to spend money to hear them at a seminar and so on. So it's two different things. And the reason that's so important is that, for example, in your case, now you're a bit more relaxed. Now you don't feel like every time you appear somewhere or do something, it has to be income. A lot of, in fact, I think most famous people would tell you that the majority of what they do is for brands, but it doesn't make any money. It doesn't do any sales.
Right.
You know, when I go on to all Fox and CNN, I don't make money from sales at that moment, but my brand is being established.
That's right.
Most interviews that you do, you don't get paid, for example, for doing the Oprah show. You don't get paid for doing Hannity. You don't get paid for doing CNN. But that's how you get an international brand. So it's very, very important distinction to make, and it actually causes people to relax and enjoy the ride.
Wow. And that is some of the things that I know that I've seen in people that do attend my classes. We've all mixed the whole thing together, you know, and brand and sales, everything to us is the same.
Right.
And so it's really, it was like it was just like a little, deliverance. I told them yesterday, I said, you don't know how delivered I got.
Wonderful.
It took years of heavy load off of my back.
Good.
Like, oh my God. Okay. So it is doing what it's supposed to do. It is doing it. This is what it's done. It's doing. So now I need to focus on the sales one and make that work the way it's supposed to work.
Yes.
So for those of you who are new here and you don't know what we're talking about, we are talking about Dr. Stephen Mansfield's upcoming masterclass. I'm going to tell you guys right now, you can start to pre-order it right now. You can start to pre-order. Go to storytellerbistro.com. The price that I have there right now is going to be good for 72 hours. He didn't tell me to do this, but I chose to do it. So I just want you all to know that, because what he's given is way more than what he said is okay with. So I'm just letting you all know right now that what he says is okay with, I'm going to leave it open for 72 hours. So if you know anybody that is interested in it, go ahead, go to Storyteller Bistro. Now, here are two things that is in Storyteller Bistro. One is the masterclass, right? The second one is the Q&A. The Q&A is like a 30-minute of him really literally going through all of the questions that you guys came with. And all of those questions, their power. In fact, that Q&A itself, I'm telling you, if you watch the Q&A itself, it is so powerful because it was just one crack the code after the other, one crack after the other. So if you are watching me right now, I told you all guys, get ready for your money, get your money. This is a soft launch. I'm still going to come back and do a major launch when we launch Storyteller Bistro. So this is just a soft launch right now. We're not launching anything major, but if you want to get on it quickly, do it right now. So we're going to talk about a little bit of what we did that day, right? So we talked about his life and his experiences. Tell me, how did that feel to really sit back and start to talk about your life experiences? Because I know for me, if I sit down and start talking, it would give me a little goosebumps, thinking, oh my God, I really did all these things.
Well, you know, when you're just living it, you don't think that much about it. You don't think about necessarily the example it might be for others or what lessons might help others, even though I talk about those themes all the time in my life. So your questions and the themes that you had me talking about really, it kind of excited me. When I was done, I wasn't feeling, hey, I'm awesome, you know, but I was feeling, wow, God has done some wonderful things. And yes, I love helping people with what I've learned. And so that was really a sweet time for me. I remember very much that there were a lot of treasures came out because between the two of us, you know, we surfaced the things from our lives. It was powerful.
Wow. Now, there was one particular one. Okay, soft launch. Yeah, soft launch, the pricing is $299 soft launch. They're asking me for the pricing.
I see.
So $299 soft launch. The Q&A is $79. And soft launch, I said, because the team is going to come up at the end of the month, and we're going to, because this is pre-order. We're not launching it yet. Pre-orders, y'all. So if you want in on the soft launch, you want to excuse yourself off of this link right now. Go in there, purchase, do your pre-order, because after pre-order, I'm telling you right now, I'm jacking it up. He didn't tell me to do it. Let me just tell you right now. He did not tell me. But after sitting in that room and listening to everything, and then coming back home, and when we were editing and just listening to everything that he delivered, he gave it all. He delivered. I'm telling you right now, he absolutely delivered. And so after I saw that, I said, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna bump this up, because, you know, even the price that I'm going to bump it is still not going to be a lot, but I know it's supposed to be a lot because of what he gave. So we talked about, it's something that we talked about, how to master and tame your writing gift. Tell us, just titillate them a little bit. Now you know what I mean when I say titillate, a little bit. Just a little nugget in there. Don't give it all, just a little.
Well, I tell people that everyone can become an effective writer. I'm not saying you're going to be the world's most famous writer, but you can certainly write well. And that the most important thing I said, and I won't tell it all, has to do with the way of the voice of writing forms in your mind. And this is something that happens through your life. Everybody has a voice that in their mind. I don't mean a spirit or something. I mean the way that your mind forms words. It comes from the way your mother or your father read to you. It comes from different people you've heard through your life talk to you. And so when you read a book, you actually read in a certain voice in your mind. Well, that same voice is what guides you in your speaking and your writing. And in this masterclass, I talk about how to develop that voice, how to pay attention to it, how to make it more sophisticated, and how it's the key to your writing and your speaking.
Wow. Wow. So now let's transition into, you talked about the mindset of a successful writer. You talked about the mindset. Can you just a little
Sure.
about that?
The main thing I was talking about regarding writing is that most new writers, most inexperienced writers, think they have to get every word right as they write it. So the humorous image is you see on television, somebody's on their typewriter and they're writing, "It was a dark and stormy night." Oh, I'm not happy with that. So they get out of a typewriter and they wad it up and they throw it into a pile, and then the camera moves over to a pile and there's a mountain of wadded up papers because they've been doing this for hours. A successful writer knows that they can't write perfectly the first time. So they have learned to trust the future version of them. That's how we refer to it. Like Stephen Mansfield, I trust the future me, the future Stephen, that will come back in a day or two and fix what I've written today. And so that's why I can write all day. Not every word is perfect. And some things I know may not even quite make sense. But the future Stephen, the editor Stephen, the one who will come back to it in a few days, he'll fix it because he's in a different mood. He's in a different mindset. He's rested. He sees it differently. And so I teach principles like that in the master class. And I'll tell you, I wish I had known those things 20 years ago when I began writing. My first book came out in 1995. So what is that, 22 years ago? And I wish I had known the things that I taught in this master class at that time. I would have saved.
Oh my God. So if you were to compare what you know now to because my first book came in 1996. Isn't that something?
Wow.
And if you look at what you know now, compare it to, compare Stephen today with Stephen 1995 writing.
I am so much smarter. I am so much better looking. I am so much. No, I'm just playing. So I look back on that man in 1995 and I say he was sincere. He wanted to do good in the world. I worked very hard. I have to pat myself on the back and say, I did work very hard. But I have learned, not only have I developed more skill, but I've learned how to work smarter, not just harder. And that's the key. The difference between me running the football down the field and the best runner in American football is that he does it with less effort. He's skilled. He does it smoothly. He already knows what decisions he has to make, and he makes them quickly. The inexperienced person works too hard, and that's what often discourages people. So when you develop skills, and please don't misunderstand, I'm not saying that work is not important. I worked very hard, but I worked foolishly. I worked too hard. I rewrote every paragraph 10, 15, 20 times. Can you imagine how long it will take to write a book that way? And I did. I stayed up till 2 or 3 in the morning. I missed parts of my life with my children and so on. And now I work and I work hard, but I work smarter and I produce far more with my time. So that's the main difference.
Wow. Walking. How do you get to that point. By the way, everybody, please drop it in there. Storyteller Bistro. Go and do what you need to do right now. Right now. Get off this right now and go and do your pre-orders. Go and do your pre-orders right now. It's $2.99. The Q&A is $79, but the masterclass itself is $2.99. Please go and put your order in, your pre-order in right now. One cool thing that we did was the fact that we were able to link all of these to business, to entrepreneurship. Because a lot of people are on here now. Some people might say, oh, it doesn't apply to me. But the thing is, the keys that you talked about really do apply if you're an entrepreneur. So
Yes.
Can you just talk a little bit about how we were able to link all these into?
Yes, many, in the consulting that I do, I have found that the problems that a person has in their writing and their speaking and their conduct, maybe even with their family, it affects them as an entrepreneur. Some of the emotional things, my impatience or anger, they are common factors, and that's important. But also understanding who they are and what their gifts are and how they are marketable and in other words, helpful to other people. So we talked a lot about that in the podcast. What is it that you have? What is the unique gift that you have that others are willing to pay you for and to bring you into their lives for and to draw from you? And I believe that everybody can develop valuable gifts. Again, not everybody's called to be a consultant in London or Riyadh, but many people are called to be can be more valuable and can make more money and can improve their marketability by recognizing who they are and developing that steadily. So we talked a lot about that in the podcast and in the masterclass, and I'm excited about your listeners and your viewers getting it because I think it was powerful.
Wow. Now you just said something. You just said something right now that I need to go back on, because a lot of times people say, "Oh, I've been called global. I've been called global." I mean, you just hidden everything that we talked about in my class last night. Isn't there something that Holy Spirit something? I'm telling you. And many people is like, "Oh, God called me out there. God called me globally," but yet they're not making any impact in their own zip code.
Yeah.
They're not making any impact in their own nation. They're not making an impact where they are. Can you speak to that? Can you speak to those who say, "Oh, I've been called globally"? Where do they begin? Where should they begin this global journey?
Yeah, one of the things that I really try to attack when I'm working with people is what I call magical thinking. Magical thinking is this sort of, it's
I never heard that before.
I call it magical thinking. Magical thinking is and I'm going to be a little insulting here. Let's say the 16-year-old thinks I'll just hang out at Starbucks and I'll hang with my friends, but one day, magically, poof, somebody's going to give me a job globally where I'm impacting world leaders, And magical thinking is I'm not doing anything locally. I'm not doing anything day to day. I'm not developing my skills in any way. But or let's say a young man says I'm going to just lay around all summer and watch TV and drink milkshakes. But in the fall, I'll be on the football team and I'll be recruited by a college and then a pro. It's magical thinking, and it particularly can affect people who have religious faith. Don't misunderstand. I'm a Christian.
Right.
But because you don't think that God has called you does not mean that God doesn't have seasons of preparation for you. What I'm trying to say without being harsh is that you have, every time we see someone great in history who does something wonderful or in scripture, they do it at different concentric circles. So if I'm meant to help people, I'm helping people in my family, then I'm helping people in my town, then I'm helping people in maybe my tribe, then maybe my nation, and then maybe I'm helping people on my continent. And only eventually does it become global. So one of the things you drew out about my story, though I'm not the most important person in the world, but one of the things you drew out was that's how it was with me. I started small.
That's right.
My skills,
it was strategy. When you laid out your life, it was really, I was watching you say, it was like, my goodness, he really, and some of us have skipped a whole lot, jumped up in.
Yeah, exactly. And I have David on my mind from the Bible because I'm editing a book right now about David. And when he kills Goliath, what does he tell the king? Well, the reason I could do this is because I used to kill the lion and the bear and those who came from my sheep. So here's a little 13-year-old boy out in the wilderness. And when he eventually does his big day of destiny and kills the Goliath, kills the giant, Why does he say he can do that? How does he explain it to the king? He says, well, I've been killing the lion and the bear and the wolf, all those who came for my sheep, for years and years and years.
That's right.
And when it's again, I'm not David, but when I first graduated from college, I went out to Abilene, Texas, way out in West Texas, a little town way out in West Texas. And I pastored and taught and lectured and studied there. And I got to tell you, that's about as small as it can get. But because I started small and gained skills and learned how to do things one step at a time, now I can, by God's grace, be on the international scene. And that makes all the difference. It makes all the difference. So you can't have magical thinking. You can't think that God is just going to reach into your living room where you are watching soap operas all day, and poof, put you with kings and queens. You're going to have to develop your skills one step at a time. And fortunately, that's what I had opportunity to do.
I tell you, you don't even know half of what's going on. Well, in September, I launched my next book, my 21st book. And it's called The $1 Billion Dreamer.
I'm going to steal that title.
So when you were saying, that magical thinking, that's what the book is about. The $1 billion dreamer who just sits in there and say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. And so for you to even say that magical, it was like, okay.
Yeah. I watch people all the time who have really prepared themselves. For example, I'm going to honor my executive assistant, whose name is Karen Montgomery. You've been with her. She's wonderful.
Look. Every day I say, how am I going to steal her away from this thing?
Good luck. Good luck.
I'm serious.
She's wonderful.
I'm very serious. I'm like, if I knew where she was, I probably would steal her before he knows.
She's wonderful. But
she's awesome.
She's wonderful. She's wonderful. And I don't mind saying that she's more qualified than what she's doing with me right now, which makes me realize there are other roles within my world, you understand, but she has prepared herself. She has a bachelor's degree. She's gotten a project management certification, which is not easy. She has extensive experience. She helped build a library here in the Washington, D.C. area. And I sometimes am very moved that she even agreed to work with me. But what I know is she's more qualified than what she's doing now, not because she's insecure and doesn't want to go for a bigger job, but we will grow to the point where everything that she is made to do will be fulfilled. Right. But when I see people like that, I know that's real destiny. That's the real sign of destiny, that they have prepared themselves beyond where they are in anticipation of a greater day of God's choosing and God's ordaining.
I have to tell you, let me just crack a joke here. So my husband says to me, do you think she can train? My husband said, do you think she can train? Maybe we can just ship one person to her, ship one and train them, because just like you said, you have to be comfortable with what God has placed you. And a lot of times people are out there, they're not comfortable. They're not content with where God has placed them, and they're not even doing anything about it.
Right. But, I've never heard come out of Karen's mouth, I sure am more qualified. I sure could do more. I sure am. I don't know why God isn't using me. No, she just dives into what she's doing. And by the way, I'm sure she could train your people. I'll let her have her own master class. That's up to her. That's up to her. I have nothing to do with that. But
look, I didn't say it. You said it. I have how many people here? A lot of people heard you say it now. So now
I'm having lunch with her today. I think I'm in trouble. But anyway, she's an example to me, like a number of people who work with me. You can see the mark of destiny, not because they glow, when they walk in the room, but because there's far more depth and skill than is being used. And that means that there's a new future unfolding.
And the other thing is, people have to understand that there's a time and season for everything. Ever so often you have people that surround you with motives, other motives than just serving and getting to understand their own area of brilliance and understanding that there's a season for everything.
Yes, that's exactly right. And now, that's an important thing that you're saying. We talked a lot about seasons in the masterclass.
Yes.
Because you have to know the season that you're in. You have to know when the season changes. But seasons are something I talk about a lot, because you have to know what season you're in and what is meant to be part of that season. I pay very close attention to every phase or season of my life. And I don't mean adolescence, middle age, et cetera.
Yeah.
I mean sort of spiritual and business seasons. And sometimes it's time for things to change. My team is making some changes right now in my world. And it's because a season shifted. And we all knew it. We knew it was time for something new to develop. And so we began to put things in motion. And this is very, very important. You can get ahead of your season, which would be like somebody who's unqualified ending up on Hannity and not knowing anything what to say. Or you can be behind your season where you're not pushing to the very edge of what's possible. And therefore, you're not fully growing and expanding and having the impact you can have. So there are problems both ways. But seasons are very important. It's very important to think seasonally.
What would you say to people who are actually serving? They are serving. For example, let's look at people that are serving within my organization right now, that many of them know they've been called to be speakers. Many of them know that. What would you say to them? What would you say to people like that?
Do what you have to do. As the Bible says, whatever your hand finds to do it with all your heart. So do your job well. But also, as we talked about in the masterclass, carve out time to develop the other things that that you're meant to be using. For example, I was working hard as a young man in my 20s, but I made sure I had time to read. I made sure I had time to study. I made sure I had time to get master's degrees. I took time to get 2 master's degrees before I got a doctorate. And that was while I was working jobs and while I was attending lectures and while I was trying to master other skills. And then I would make sure I knew the other practical skills that I needed. I needed to speak better. I needed to know how to run the computer. I needed to understand social media, that kind of thing. So I think the art of any one season is that you are fully invested in that season, but you've saved a little time on the edges, so to speak, to prepare for the next season. So the reason when I got on Hannity or got on CNN or got on, Oprah, or whatever it was that I was doing, the reason that I could talk at that time, the reason I was ready is that I had always been saving time and reserving time to prepare for my future. So even when I was pastoring a tiny, tiny, tiny church in West Texas, I mean, we're talking 25 people. And eventually I would pastor a church of 5,000, but at that time, 25 people, West Texas. And, but I took the time to study and to read and to learn. And I thought, well, the church is small. I'll get a master's degree now. You see, it wasn't that I was dissatisfied with what I was doing. It was that I was doing what I was doing.
Growing.
I was always preparing, always growing, always trying to have more that God could use available in my life. And that's what he did. What most people do, though, is they sit around and kind of gripe and complain and do their current job kind of mediocre, 50%.
Yes, right.
And they don't make that a success. And then they also don't carve out time to prepare for the future. And so they just sit unhappy and unprepared and aren't really usable or marketable.
Let's talk about rejection.
Yes.
But that was one of the things that we talked about in masterclass. Talk to us a little bit about how do people, because I have a group now that is more religious side, and many people are there coming with their wounds.
Yeah, sure.
With all, so that there are times it's difficult to lead, because when you're leading, they're not even seeing that you're leading. They just feel hurt.
Yes, sure.
So how do you maneuver your way as a leader in that kind of atmosphere? And how does those people in that kind of atmosphere also understand the role of leadership in that?
Sure. I'll tell you the thing that has helped me the most in this area, because leadership does hurt. You are going to get shot at. You are going to get wounded. When you are wounded, you can either stand there and bleed to death and not get better, or the advice that has helped me the best is a man named E. Stanley Jones, an old leader from more than 100 years ago. He said, "My critics are the unpaid guardians of my soul." And what that means is that if I receive criticism today, and I'm likely to, I am always receiving criticism for the things that I write or the people unhappy with me or politics in DC and so on. It's just a part of life. When somebody criticizes me, when somebody attacks me, when somebody says that they don't like what I'm doing, I don't just say to myself, well, that person's stupid and I don't need to listen to them. I look at it fully in the face. What's being said? Is there anything I need to learn from the criticism?
That's right.
you use too big of words, or you're wrong about this issue, or you talk too fast, or whatever it is. And so I look at it and I take out the elements that I can take. Maybe in 1,000 words, there are 5 that are helpful. The rest are just somebody being mad. But I'll tell you what that means is that everybody who criticizes me makes me better. Everybody who attacks me makes me better. Everything that might wound me makes me better. And I write biographies of famous people, and I'll tell you what really distinguishes the great is that they allow wounds, criticism, and seasons of suffering to make them better.
Ooh, that's good.
Winston Churchill, no question that he was a great man because he endured suffering well, and it made him better. We could talk about 1,000 different people. I just go on and on. One of my favorite people in history is Booker T. Washington and what he suffered and endured, or all the people that I read. Lincoln had horrible suffering, almost killed himself twice. And yet one of the greatest of American presidents. I could go on and on and on. All of that to say that the greats in history suffered and received and wounded terribly, but they knew how to let their wounds make them better. And that's the key. That's really the key.
Now, if you are listening to this, please go to Storyteller Bistro. Go and put in your pre-order. We've been talking about this. Go to Storyteller Bistro. After PS, shall I go on at 6? Oh, okay. Somebody is asking question. So please go to Storyteller Bistro right now, and you will find his pre-order button there. Go to Storyteller Bistro. In the next 72 hours, I'm going to shut that down and wait for the absolute big lunch with the whole team. So you guys have already told me you want to do pre-lunch. Now we're doing the soft lunch for you right now. Go in there. Do not be on this thing and think you don't need it. All right. You can never know. Just like what he says, I'm going to tell you, every time I get to talk to him or talk to other people, I glean from it. It's amazing. You can never get to a point where you think, okay, I'm fine now. I know it all. If you're there, then you're the biggest fool. You're the biggest fool. You just haven't found out. You're the biggest fool. Then you're my $1 billion dreamer. If you're out there thinking, oh, you know what, I don't need this, then you're my $1 billion dreamer. I like to meet you in person. So let's because we're almost wrapping up right now. Let's talk about platforms and the need for people to recognize their platforms, because people are mixing things up.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I see people mixing, and I was guilty of it. I told you, myself and Yolanda came to you, and we'll never forget it.
Yes.
You don't know what impact that meeting had on both of us.
Good.
You came and you said, oh, you looked and you're going this, there's nothing wrong with that. Just keep going. And we looked at each other and said, oh, okay. It was like, okay, we needed that ding. We needed somebody that could really but you were gentle about it.
Sure.
I mean, it was factual, but you were gentle about it. So talk to people who are like that out there watching right now.
Yes, most people think that one day somebody's going to grab them and put them on their platform, on somebody else's platform. But actually, the key to success today is building your own platform. And most of the people that you're working with who are leaders, they need to do everything they can through social media, through speaking, through increasing their appeal by increasing their value. They need to do everything they can to increase their platform. That really is the issue. You said, you told me that you have a lot of writers.
Yes.
People who want to be writers amongst your audience. Well, today, publishers, it's not like it used to be where publishers can find a writer who's unknown and they develop them, and help them become famous. What normally happens is a publisher comes to a writer and says, who do you already influence? What's your platform? What is your reach? We want to pay you to write a book that you'll sell to the people you're already in contact with, and then maybe we can help you expand a little bit. But, I can tell you a story from the 1920s where a man who was a high school janitor, his manuscript was discovered by the English teacher, and the English teacher took it to a publisher, and this high school janitor became a famous author. But But that's not the way it is today. Today, they want you to already have your platform, already have your Twitter and your Facebook and your Instagram, and already have a big speaking schedule and already have TV appearances. And so you have to grow that yourself. And so the platform is extremely important, and it's within everybody's reach. Every high school student can have a blog, can have a website, can do speaking, can have a theme. A lot of the skill of that is knowing what you're meant to speak to. You know, one of the things that impresses me the most is there was this Mexican immigrant to the United States who began working in kitchens and in restaurants. And he learned English really well. And then he began writing a blog about restaurants and about how they could do it better and how they could buy better produce and how they could make it cheaper and all. And that blog began to be paid attention to by all the big people in the restaurant industry. Now, this man who came across the border just poor and beleaguered, he's now a very successful consultant to major restaurant lines because he learned something, had wisdom, offered that wisdom online. Now he's very successful. Why? Because he found his niche. He found the thing that he was meant to speak to. And he lives a good life. He's a Christian. He's got great children. He's sending them on to major universities, all because he began to speak to what he had skill for speaking to. And that's the art of building a platform.
Wow. So the goal is to find who you're supposed to be speaking to.
Yes.
Either in your writing or in your speaking or whatever product that you're creating. Who are you targeting with that product?
You know, let me say it this way, because this is a great final thought for our time together.
Yes.
You know, many people just want to be writers, or they just want to be speakers. That's not enough. Mm-hmm. Or they just want to be famous. Like today, especially among the young, they just want to be famous. That's not how it works. Don't want to be just a writer. Want to be passionate about something so that then you want to write about it. The writing comes second. The idea, the passion, the life calling comes first. I'm passionate about helping men be great men. I'm passionate about helping the Kurds. I'm passionate about 4 or 5 other things here in DC. Those are the things that lead. My writing, my speaking, my consulting, my everything else I do comes in the service of those causes. And so if you find the cause or the theme that is meant to be the passion of your life, or meant to be the thing you're offering to people that is marketable, that's when you'll have success. But to just want to be a famous speaker, to just want to be on TV, to just want to be a writer, that's vain. That's not going to help you. People become successful because they're passionate about something. You understand what I mean? Building new cars or developing new, like Steve Jobs, new technologies, or a new kind of politics, or helping the poor and the hurting, or whatever it is. The idea, the cause, the calling comes first. Then speaking, writing, entrepreneurship, etc. It comes in the service of those great themes.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Well, you guys hang in there, because we're going to do a little wrap up when I let our guests go. Thank you so much, Dr. Mansfield, and we will talk soon.
So good to see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Let's see. All right, everybody. Well, you heard the man. You heard him. You heard him. So any comments from you guys? I have a passion for helping the poor and the hurting. Any comments from you guys? Any comments? Any comments? Here's what I'm going to tell you guys to do now, because we've been talking about this for weeks now, right? We've been talking about this for weeks. So if you know that you have not ordered, pre-order, I want you to go in there and do your pre-order, all right? It was great to see him again. Awesome. He put effort in it. And the thing ever so often is, when we see rare people like that come out, we need to appreciate them. We need to show that we appreciate them. But the thing that I often see is we go out there and appreciate other people. And we need to appreciate them. And so the way that we can appreciate people like that is, he did what many of his caliber would not do. And I'm telling you that the amount of money that he told me to put this course, I don't know why he did it, but I'm okay. because he said so. And because of that, it's still part of him wanting to be a blessing and wanting to help. And he was in the studio for that day, just clunking away, just doing all of these things, right? It confirmed a lot of necessary strategic steps to take on the journey to success. Many of us right now, just like he said, we want to be writers, we want to be business owners, we want to be a whole lot of stuff, but we're not doing much. And then the other part of us are those that he said that we're Christian, and if we're not careful, we begin to use Christianity as a crutch not to move. Christianity becomes a crutch. It becomes a complete crutch that we use it not to move forward to the next dimension that God has called us. Yes, he was trying to make it affordable. I don't know how much more affordable it can be, because I'm telling you right now, right? Let me give you. He went through the transition of his life. That in itself, when he went through the transition, he talked about his life, his experiences. It was a candid interview between he and I, and he talked about how he transitioned from being a pastor to becoming a businessman, and now a statesman that nations are telling him to come and help them to carve constitution. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Can you imagine you being called to the White House to carve constitution? To carve constitution. Right? That's right. $2.99. I don't see how we can go lower than that, people. And the truth is, if we want to find something, we find money for it. If we want something, we find money for it. So let's do the right thing here. He worked hard to do it, right? He talked about how to master and tame your writing gift. Right, Ika? He talked about how do you master and tame your writing gift. He talked about the mindset of a successful business owner and a writer, because a writer, an entrepreneur should be a writer. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are looking to start your business, you have to learn to tell your story. It doesn't make sense if you're starting a business and you can tell your story, right? And he talked about his life experiences. He explained and really went into detail about his life experiences when he was writing for George Bush, Barack Obama, Lincoln, Sarah Palin, Paul Bennettine, Booker T. Washington, Oprah. I mean, he talked about that. He also had a whole chapter on rejection. He had a whole, right, Ika? You have to be transparent. He had a whole chapter on overcoming rejection. That chapter alone could be carved out into something else. That chapter alone. And another chapter, he gave us tools, tips, and tricks to successful publishing. And you know your princess. I went into his business in this one. I went to town in his business because I wanted to see what it is that he's doing, right, that I'm not doing yet. I wanted to see for myself. So I went into his business. I dug into his business on that one. And he freely gave what he does. He talked about visibility. He talked about visibility. Now, let me say something to you guys. Many of us, we jump the gun, just like what he says. Some of us are still under training, but we jump the gun, right? Okay, I can. Some of us are still under training, but we jump the gun. We jump the gun. Do not jump the gun. If you're under training, recognize that you're under training and grow. Grow who you are under the training. Grow your platform under the training. Look at that man that Oprah gave, what's his name now? The pastor in Joel Osteen's church, that black pastor, right? He was growing his platform right there, serving the man of God, growing the platform right there. It was the growth that caught Oprah. So don't get it twisted and run ahead. Don't run ahead of God. Wherever God has planted you, grow in there. Grow. Recognize what your platform is. If you are in a place and you're serving, yeah, John Gray, that's it, John Gray, right? He grew within Joel Osteen's organization. He grew. He helped to take Joel Osteen's organization to the next dimension. And because of that, God honored him. And God pulled him out and gave him the biggest platform. Now, what I see many of us do is that we serve a little. We don't even know. We get a few ideas. We go in to serve just so we can see what the man or woman of God is doing. And then you don't take the time, right? Yeah, it's John Gray, Tessa. You don't take the time. Then you run out and start thinking you are implementing something until you bust and combust out there. God is not into things like that. And even with the platform he has now, he's still serving in that ministry. He's still helping to blow up that ministry, right? But what I'm seeing on social media is half-baked people that just say, oh, I got an idea, and they come to people like us, they see a little bit, not enough, they don't even see what, they think they've seen everything, but they run ahead of God. Grow where you are. That's right. He was a smart cookie. And he's still serving. He was a smart cookie because what he knows is that if I can help Joel Osteen grow, I am growing too. If I can help him grow and take this organization to the next thing, I am going through. But us, we don't want that. We want to divide ourselves. We want to do all things. And the thing is, when God puts you somewhere, it's because you need it. It's because you need it. So grow and learn to build your platform where God has planted you. Because if God has planted you somewhere, the visibility of that place will affect your platform. Just like John Gray, the visibility of where he was affected his platform. Beware of you, ghost. It ain't about you. If you are serving on that sister tribe, you better check yourself. Why are you serving? What is your purpose for serving? If you are serving right now and you feel underutilized, you need to speak up and be utilized. Don't hide under the group. Don't hide under a group. Don't do that. Whatever God has given you, if God has called you a teacher, then come forth. Come forth in the sister tribe and come forth boldly in that teaching and grow and blossom. Because as you do it, here's the thing. God has given you an already made platform for you to even do all the mistakes you can do, make the mistakes there and people can forgive you before you go out there and make a mistake that people will not be able to forgive. Right? Wait your turn. Understand your platform. Grow your platform within where God is training you. Grow your platform where God is training you. And when the time is right, you will have mastered your brilliance, right? You master your brilliance for the world to see. But when you are serving, you serve what they desire. Serve people what they need. Don't serve them what you think you want them to have. Serve them what they need. Serve them what they need. If I come to you right now, Andrea, and I say, I need a cup of rice, do not go out there and say, because you're serving the Lord told me to give you orange juice. Don't do that. I just told you I need a cup of rice. and if a cup of rice is what I need, and if you could not get me a cup of rice, perhaps there's somebody else in that community, perhaps there's somebody else in that region, perhaps there's somebody else within that can give me the rice. Then you say, you know what, I don't know how to make the rice you want. I can give you orange juice, so I'm going to hold on. The next time you need orange juice, you know I'm the guy for that orange juice. But in the meantime, Princess is the one that can give you rice. Serve them what they need, not what you think they need. So if you have not signed up for his class, I wanna get off this and go in there and see some orders. Y'all hear me? I want to get off this place and see some orders. So for those who are watching their way of YouTube, if they are watching this replay, please go into storytellerbistro.com, storytellerbistro.com, and put in your pre-order. Put in your pre-order for the masterclass. And Sharon, you can start with the Q&A. There's a Q&A there for $79. You can start with the Q&A. Never allow money to be the reason why you say you don't do something. The minute you say you're going to do it, you watch how God will open the door. But if you tell yourself, oh, I'm not going to do it, then it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because your brain will never teach you how to get that money. Your brain will not teach you how to get what you need to do what you need to do. If you defeat yourself with the words of your mouth and say, oh my God, I can't, because here is it. You want to become a multimillionaire. You want to be not just multimillionaire, but one that can help and be a blessing to the world around you. And so you have to watch the kind of profession that you put on yourself. Yes, your purse might be tight right now, but you can take it to Lord and say, God, you heard what he said. You heard what he said. He trained himself. He was in school. He did 2 masters at the same time. He was doing all of these things. He was attending classes. He was doing things. And today, now he's a statesman. Now is where he wanted to be. And if he did not take that time, would he have been experiencing what he's experiencing now? Nobody says anything is easy. It's not easy. That's right. It's not easy. Nothing in life is easy. It's not easy to take some money to train yourself. It's not easy to invest in yourself. A lot of times, it's easier for us to invest on other people, but we never, when it's our turn to invest on ourselves, we have all the excuses, we have all the things, the reasons why we should not invest in ourselves. We have it. But if somebody else came our way, we're going to invest in them. So look at this as your own investment in your own self. This is your own birthday gift. This is your own whatever gift. Right? Your holiday gift, your Christmas gift, your December gift, whatever gift you want to do it, make this a gift to yourself. Gift yourself. Because frankly, I don't know if there's anything out there that is like what he did today, because he pulled it out. The video Q&A, Global Influencer Talks with Stephen Mansfield, right? If that's the one you want to pre-order today, pre-order that. That's some $9.99. Just pre-order that. But at least take a step for your own destiny. Take a step for your own destiny. So even if that's the first one you want to buy, then do that. And then come back to the masterclass. Either way, do something that you will ordinarily not do for yourself and say, you know what? This is the beginning of me getting it. It's the beginning of me really understanding what I need to be doing with my own life and my own businesses. And if you have your business and you say your business is thriving right now, it's ludicrous to think that you have it all. If you are somebody like me right now, because even I myself, I'm in that class right now. So if you are up here thinking, oh, I don't need it because I already created I create my own courses, I do all, that's foolishness. That's just plain foolishness. That's foolishness. How often do people like this come your way? That's foolishness. So, any questions? Any questions for me? If there are no questions, I'm going to call this off. I want to thank you so much. On Thursday, we have something. Oh, let me show. Oh my goodness. I wanted to show you the, oh, I forgot to show him too. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Let me show you the trailer, y'all. Let me show you the trailer. Oh my goodness. I forgot. We just got into the discussion and I forgot. Let me show you the trailer, y'all. Let me show you the trailer, please. Oh, wow. For those who are still here, you're welcome. Hold on. Let me show you the trailer if I can. Just bear with me for a second. I totally forgot. My goodness.
I'd like to tell you a story. Actually, I'd like to tell you 3 stories.
Hold on a
But,
second.
don't sweat it. I talk fast. My southern cousins say that I talk fast like a Yankee on drugs.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I am so much more excited about today. I'm excited because I have somebody that I do regard as my life legend. He's somebody that I met.
Just bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Let me show you the. Let me show you the trailer. Let me show you the trailer. I totally forgot the trailer. We just got into the swing of things and I forgot the trailer. I wanted to show him that too, but I'll send that to him too. Hallelujah. That's right. We have to appreciate when we see people like that come our way. We need to encourage them to keep coming, you know. And the way we can encourage them is to show that we appreciate them and appreciate what they do. So just bear with me. Let me find the, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. All right, let me just share. Let me share my screen first and see. Hold on a second. Let me. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see it? No? Oh, you can't hear it? Oh, okay, hold on. No sound? Can you guys hear the sound? Can you, if you hear the sound, say yes, no, so I can start it again. Can you hear it? No sound? No sound? Wow. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see. Let me see.
Search for God in Guinness, and I've written other books like that on leadership, about Winston Churchill and so on. I also run a consulting firm in Washington, D.C. called the Mansfield Group. We both consult with political leaders, and we also train them to speak better. We spend a lot of time training people to speak better and do that kind of work. How can they transition nicely in such a way that they do not jeopardize their family or something like that? So talk to us a little bit about, number one, the pastor. Well, during the season I was a pastor, let me just tell you a fundamental belief that I have first. I believe that if you are living fully in the season that you are in, all pistons are firing. You're not packing part of yourself away. You're using all your gifts. You're making sure you have time for rest. You're making sure you have time to develop your own inner life and so on.
Okay, let me start again.
I'd like to tell you a story. Actually, I'd like to tell you 3 stories, but don't sweat it. I talk fast. My southern cousins say that I talk fast like a Yankee on drugs. Well, I'm going to tell you something I am super duper excited about today. I'm excited because I have somebody that I do regard as my life legend. He's somebody that I met maybe over 10 years ago. And even at that, it's the very first time that I met him. I mean, it just captured me, it captured the audience. And today I know that he's definitely going to capture you. So it's no other than Dr. Stephen Mansfield. Well, as Dr. Hancock says, my name is Stephen Mansfield, and I'm best known as a New York Times bestselling author. I've written some pretty well-known books on faith and leadership. I wrote The Faith of George W. Bush. I wrote The Faith of Barack Obama. I've written a book called Lincoln's Battle with God. I've written a book on the Guinness beer company, the brewing company that's done so much for the poor and for poverty. It's called The Search for God at Guinness. And I've written other books like that on leadership about Winston Churchill and so on. I also run a consulting firm in Washington, D.C. called the Mansfield Group. We both consult with political leaders, and we also train them to speak better. We spend a lot of time training people to speak better and do that kind of work. How can they transition nicely in such a way that they do not jeopardize their family or something like that? So talk to us a little bit about, number one, the pastor. Well, during the season I was a pastor, let me just tell you a fundamental belief that I have first. I believe that if you are living fully in the season that you are in, all pistons are firing. You're not packing part of yourself away. You're using all your gifts. You're making sure you have time for rest. you know you're making sure you have time to develop your own inner life and so on, and you're using all your gifts in any season, then you'll be prepared for the next season that comes. And that you just want to know the process for writing. So let me get right to it. Here's the first thing, and this is one of the most important things that you can know as a writer. We all write, and by the way, since I train a lot of people to speak, I can tell you also that we also speak according to a voice that's in our head. And the quickest way to improve your writing is to improve the quality of that voice. And most of the time, you will have rejection. Most of the time, publishers will say no. That's just the way it goes. When you're just starting, when you don't have a name, when you haven't written anything else, and even if you have written other things, you will experience rejection. And I will have to tell you that one of the things that separates, to put it in sort of athletic terms, the men from the boys, the adults from the children, when it comes to publishing, is how you answer rejection. I'm fascinated with this area, and it's one of those areas where there's a great deal of mythology. There's a great deal of false thinking, and so I want to help you with it.
Yay. Well, anyway, but what I'm going to do is once we're ready with the trailer, I will release the trailer so that many of you can see the trailer. You lost the sound again, Sandra. I don't know what happened. It might be Zoom. I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to release the trailer shortly. I will release this trailer shortly. If you have not signed up for the pre-order, please take your time now and do that. And on Thursday, I have a guest coming in on Thursday. Oh, it stopped? Okay, I'll release the trailer, Christian. I'll release the trailer so that you guys can see it. On Thursday, I have a special person coming in. She is a venture capitalist. So if you are out there saying, how can I get my stuff funded? How can I get my story written? How can I get my stuff funded? How can I fund my story? How can I fund not just my story, my business? She is the girl. She has 2 venture capitalist companies, and she's going to be here at 11 a.m. Central Time on Thursday. I will be interviewing her. I cannot wait for that because I have so many questions for her. If you have questions that you want her to answer, please go inside of Sister Tribe. Go inside of Watching Their Sister Tribe. Ramona Jones, if you don't mind, if you can put a card, if you can put a card there for us so that people can put their questions for this mystery guest there. Put a question there so that I can ask her those questions when she come on Thursday. So Thursday, please be here 11 a.m. Central Time when I will be interviewing yet another exciting person. I know she's going to do a masterclass for us. And oh, thank you, Ramona. I didn't know you were still there. And a masterclass is going to be about funding your ideas. Isn't that cool? Wouldn't that be great if we have a class on funding your ideas, right? So that's what she's going to be doing. She's going to be talking to us about how do you fund your ideas. As a matter of fact, there's somebody right now that she just funded the idea, and they wrote the screenplay, and now they are making, I think they are in the process of making the movie or in the middle of making the movie, one of the two, I can't remember. So if you are somebody who have an idea out there and you're saying, what is out there? How can I fund it? What are the innovative ways to fund my idea? What are the innovative ways? Hey, Lady Neville. What? No sound. What do you mean no sound? What are the innovative ways to fund ideas? Then you want to be here. So you can hear me, Tessa. Ramona heard me. Ramona heard me. Ramona heard me. So thank you all so much. Lady Nivea, please watch the replay. Everybody else, if you're watching, please watch the replay. And don't forget to visit storytellerbistro.com. We have a soft launch, a very silent soft launch for Dr. Stephen Mansfield's masterclass. We're going to have a bigger launch later, but this today is just a soft launch for those who are closer to me, those who are closer. This is just for you all. Today is for you all, those who are closer to me. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. God bless you and have a wonderful and a terrific day. Bye, everyone. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes. Yes, you can share. Ramona, yes, you can share. Yes, you can share.